Hey, girlfriend, you know who you are. You have big, big dreams. You want to write a book, stand on a TED Talk stage, be a life coach offering wisdom from your RV in Montana, a cafe in Barcelona, or a beach chair in Tulum. Your other girlfriends and your family, they don't always get your biz savvy. Why do you want to leave your JOB? Because you're a C.A.T.S, aka coach, author, thought leader, and speaker. Meet other change makers like yourself and find out how they make it happen. This is the Big Meow podcast.
Hey, all you cats. It's Kristen here, and I'm here with the amazing Britt Tucker. Hi, Britt.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So you call yourself a black sheep. I want to hear all about that.
Yes, I am a black sheep. I feel like I've always taken a different route and different path in life. And so here I am. I'm almost 39, single, never married, own a business, and I didn't do what everyone else in my hometown did.
You know, it's so funny. We talk about that all the time. I think when you are a cat, coach, author, thought leader, speaker, people in your hometown are like, what do you mean? What is a life coach, right? I remember I grew up in Indianapolis, and there weren't a lot of life coaches. I didn't know anybody who'd written a book. Like there just weren't a lot of people in our category.
Yes. It's interesting now. I was just telling someone the other day because I've been in business for 9 years, I think. And I was like, everything's changing so much. And I feel like, especially like women entrepreneurship and women going out and doing their things. And there's so many cool resources and things like that out there. So it's way more common now. But yes, even 9 years ago, everybody was like, what? You're doing what? So.
So tell us a little bit about your business and how you help women step into their life that they're designed to live.
Yeah, definitely. So I grew up the all-American girl. I did everything I was told to do to be successful and woke up in corporate America. I was super unhappy. So I left. And I was like, what am I going to do with my life? I don't even know what I'm going to do with, myself. And so really what I do in my business is kind of teach people what I did on my journey, which was I always say we're not lost. We're just buried by cultural expectations and the opinions of others. And so I'm a life coach. That's one portion of my business. And then the larger portion is speaking. So I do like anything from motivational speeches to lunch and learns to corporate training. So it's super fun.
I was reading an article recently that there are so many women, there's this mass exodus out of corporate America. They're just not having it, for a variety of reasons. So what would you say to somebody who's thinking about leaving that job?
It's funny you say that because I've helped probably like 6 or 7 people leave already. I always say if you have a desire in your heart, it's there for a reason. Okay. So don't ignore it. It's just going to get larger and larger and larger, and it's just going to get harder to leave. I think, follow your heart. You're not always going to have the answers. I mean, I've been on my own for 9 years. I'm still learning answers every day. We don't know everything. But sometimes you just have to jump in the deep end. So
I think that's so true. I really believe, Britt, that anything that we do of value requires a leap of faith from us. Like we may see something that we want or desire, but we have to take that bold move to get closer to that opportunity for us.
mm-hmm. Definitely. I always say the first move needs to be big and it needs to be scary and uncomfortable. And then after that, you can do like small, consistent, small steps, and that'll get you there.
So do you have a life philosophy?
I do. I use this phrase a lot like on my marketing materials and stuff, and it's just ditch the checklist, ditch the checklist. I feel like we as women have just been there's this checklist that's out there that's like you have to do this and you have to go to college and you have to get married and you have to have the white picket fence and what happens is when women follow this, because I followed it up into a certain age, we wake up and we're like, who am I? I'm identical to the woman next door to me, right? Or my next door neighbor. And that just robs us of who we are and our gifts and gifts that we can share with others. So I always say, just tune everything else out and do your thing and be you.
I think that's really just such great advice. I remember there was a point when I had all these small kids at home. So I have 3 kids, and I'm sitting in that elementary school parking lot, and there's like 50 minivans and they're all like silver and white. I'm like, which one is mine? So I do think that we do go from having an identity to going into anonymous aspects, and that it's really important to be able to just embrace that identity again. I think that's a big part of it, because otherwise, we're just kind of wandering around and wondering what's the point of it all.
Exactly. Yes. Or it's like our culture is so consumed with like, we love consumption, right? Of everything new, everything that someone else has to have. And at what point do you get to where you're like, okay, is this even what I want? Or is it just what I think I want? So.
That's a powerful question.
Yes.
So what's something that you did in your business that just changed everything for you?
I'm actually in a big transition in my business right now. So I went to my mentor probably the end of 2021. We'd gone through COVID and everything, and I just said, I'm so bored. And he was like, Brittany, when you're an entrepreneur, when you have your own business, every 3 to 5 years, you need to change up something. You're going to get bored, especially when you're a creative person, so I've been transitioning my demographic. I'm writing new speeches. I'm just saying, hey, like, it's almost like starting over, which is kind of fun, but also difficult at the same time. There's also some challenges in there, but I think just reminding myself that a business can change, especially if you own it, and it can look any way that you want to. And so accepting that and stepping into that has been a big thing that's changed.
So what's your favorite speech that you like to give?
Yeah, I love doing women's motivational stuff. I've spoken in front of corporate America for, I guess, 13 years. I'm a lot older than I look.
I know you look like a kid.
Yes, and I always say, the 50-year-old men, they're great. They pay very well. But all my fun speeches have been like all women in the room, and that's exciting for me. I'm writing a new one right now. And then also I just added domestic violence to my topics. I'm a DV survivor. And so I, toyed around with that for a while. Do I even speak on that? It's kind of a raw topic. It's very vulnerable, but I just added that too. So that's fun.
What have you found that's happened as you've brought that topic into your message?
Yes. I'm growing so much. I'm growing so much as a speaker. I mean, there's, depending on the topic, this, like it's who's in the room, what's the energy in the room, when you start talking about raw, vulnerable things, it helps me grow as a speaker, right? Like what do I need to say? What points do I need to leave out, detailed stuff. But it's been really cool because since I've started speaking up about it, I've had multiple people reach out to me and just say, hey, I think I'm in this type of relationship. And that's been the most rewarding part of it. So
I think it really activates people. When you can get vulnerable and speak your truth, it can activate your audience. I mean, it's really amazing, even in corporate America, people who look like so polished and professional on the surface, you really never know what's going on at home.
No, everyone has a story. Everybody's got a story. And when we are vulnerable enough to share that story, that's when we can help other people. So.
No, I absolutely love that. So what's next for you?
What's next for me? That's a good question. I'm one of those people, I feel like I'm a kid in a candy store. So I don't know if you, Kristen, if you're ever like this, but you're like, oh, this is fun. And this looks fun. And this looks fun. And so I got my hands on a lot of different things right now. I started writing a book in 2019. It's not done yet. I do already have a publisher, which is exciting. But yeah, that needs to be finished at some point. So.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on that. So how can we find you, Britt?
Yeah, so I'm a millennial. So I live on Instagram. My handle is Brighter with Britt, 2 T's. It's just everybody has a light to shine, so we all shine bright. And then I'm just now entering the TikTok world. So not a lot up there. But yeah, I mainly live on Instagram, not a lot on Facebook, have a website. And then, yeah, that's the best way to find me.
Awesome. Britt, thank you so much for being with us on the Big Meow.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to the Big Meow podcast, sponsored by C.A.T.S Network. If you liked what you heard, please take a moment to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. You can also join our network filled with positivity and possibility. Visit www.catsnetworking.com to join us and learn more. together with your magical, motivated, and mystical new friends at C.A.T.S Network. Let's transform 1 million lives with your message. Are you feeling isolated sitting at home in your PJs? Or perhaps you're tired of the comfy sweatpants with holes in them that are hidden just below the camera? I mean, you could puke at the thought of another day of Zoom meetings and reporting to your BOSS. Do you want freedom from your home office desk or the office cubicle? Do you want freedom from your current career? Or are you frustrated that your online biz dreams are going nowhere? It's all too overwhelming. Where do you start? All the tech, the choices, and your message. Yep, I said your message, your brand, your voice. What is it? Do you even know what that means? Do you need a biz coach but don't want to invest the big bucks? Let's face it, being a solopreneur is lonely, but you don't have to do it alone. And here's a solution. Join C.A.T.S Network. C.A.T.S Network is a woman-only membership community exclusively available to you, the life coach or executive coach, the author, the thought leader, or the public speaker. If you identify with this list or want to work on adding some of these to your skill set, C.A.T.S is the place for you. Check us out at www.catsnetworking.com. That's C.A.T.S networking.com. Because let's face it, cats are better together.